you know.
Yeah. So does anyone know why this is not a valid structure point on this one?
It doesn't have a purpose.
Yeah, it didn't do nothing. It didn't take our time. Right. So your actual low is here, your actual high is here. So this is your current 1 hour range. So now we took out this range. Once we took out this external point was feeding liquidity into this POI here. All right. So look, another thing, every external point or every external range point is feeding liquidity into some POI, a higher time from POI, right? So when you take out external of a range, you're taking out buy stop and sell stops because they're on the external of the range, right? Now, people ask, why do we use a range? Because a range is the best way to create that manipulation. So we have the pretty much the consolidation, the manipulation, the false move, right? And then we have the distribution or the accumulation, right?
Yeah.
So a range is the best way to do that. It's one of the best ways to do it. So that's why that's why we trade ranges. That's why it's a good way to see it this way. So we have now the breaker structure is low. Down. So yeah, so we have the break of this low, which is a breaker structure on the 1 hour or 4 hour time frame, because that's where we see it at, right? But it's also liquidity feeding into this block here. So we're going to expect some type of movement from here, but your current range at the time being is from here to here. So when price makes that push to the upside, which most likely is going to come into this breaker, to be honest, from here, don't be surprised if this happens, because where's your overall target that we're anticipating is this, right? We're anticipating that to happen. That's the anticipation of that. So we break everything down the same way. We go from the daily, we look for the range we at in a 4 hour, where you're in that range, and then 1 hour, where you're in that range. The 1 hour and the 15-minute are now your intraday time frames. So now you're playing inside of that, because that's where we take trades. So you go down to the 15-minute, 1 hour, this is how it looks. So you're in that POI that we just marked up. We have a high, we have a low, to a liquidity, price came here. Now we're already in a buy zone or a POI where we can expect longs. So price took out the low, critical lows here in this area, took out the low, and now we just had the major break right here happen. This break didn't happen in a random spot. It happened in a untested QM, untested 4 hour. I think it was 4 hour. I'm not wrong. 4 hour. Yeah, so a daily investigated wick with a 4 hour block. That's where that break happened. So we can anticipate this to give us a retracement. There's a break here, but that's lining up with the breaker. It's just imbalance for price action. There's a pullback. The cause for this to happen. And then a push up higher. It went to the pacing, anticipating higher prices. But yeah, I mean, there's not much to say about it, bro. It's the same thing. We just treat it the same way. That's a daily. Where you're in a daily, mark up your zones. If you're having a hard time remembering stuff, just mark up everything. There's where price is coming from. That's your 4 hour. Mark up your 4 hour or what you see here in a 4 hour. And I call this a 1 hour structure point because I remember seeing it on the 1 hour clearly. So, but we see in the 4 hour time frame, there's a break, which is also what liquidity being fed into what to this. Okay, nice. Drop down lower. There's a 1 hour structure point. What's going on in here? Then you mark this out. Here, from here to here, here, and then take this out. Then we have a break. Equal highs. It's a break. But what is it? Remember, external points are liquidity, right? Buy stop, sell stops. What is this? What's the reason? What's the purpose? Price coming back up. Go back to the 4 hour. Hidden base, high volume imbalance, imbalance for price action, what you want to call it, in alignment with a breaker. Okay, so now you're here. So now go to the 15-minute, because here's where we start to put things together. If we're looking for shorts here, then we identify, or we're looking for the QM. So we have to run up here, came into this, there's liquidity. That's why this is happening. It's gonna come into this area here, actually. Expecting a push back down to the downside. Then what's going on in the bigger picture? Bigger picture is from here. First one up. Then from here. And then break it down to lower time frames. And then you start to identify the range in the lower time frames. So this doesn't make sense. Like, we're just breaking it down the same way. We're looking for the same thing on every single time frame. And I know to some people it sounds strange that we're looking for the same thing because they're not used to doing that. But yes, it is the same thing. It's T1, T2 on every single time frame, obstacles on every single time frame, on the PY on every single time frame. We look for the same rules on every single time frame. When you're in a 15-minute, that's where you focus on. The 15 minutes your main focus, and then 5 and 1 minutes when you start to look for confirmation entries or entries. Simple as that. There's nothing fancy, right? And for those who are asking about the weekly cycle and daily cycle, right? The weekly and daily cycle is what I call the range cycle. Because inside of a weekly candle, you have an entire range cycle complete. Inside of a daily candle, you have a intraday time frame cycle complete. Inside of an hourly candle, you have like the minute cycle complete. So in reality, we're already trading the weekly and daily cycle without the extra stuff, if that makes sense. But I am going to now just give you guys that information because it'll just help you and give you a better understanding and a grip of the theory of a range. Okay. It's nothing new. It's something that's already taught, but this is a different view because it's a good way to see it, to understand your accumulation, your distribution, your manipulation, right, in a range, because that's all they do. They build up liquidity, then they take you out. So if you understand the theory, if you understand the basics, and then you come and see the view how I see it, then